Hello, my name is Meredith Kratochvil. I am currently a graduate student at Grand Canyon University. I'm recording this video for Professor Underdown, her special education 501 class. I'm going to talk about my personal disposition and role as a special education teacher. We have three questions that we're using as guidelines, so I apologize. That's what I'm looking at right now. How do SPED teachers' role support learning, improving planning, practice, upholding professional expectations, and ethics? One of the best ways I can say is leading by example. If I want the students around me that I'm teaching to be excited about learning, no matter what level they're at, I need to be excited about it. I need to show that it's exciting, and I need to present the information in an exciting way. And I also need to make sure that the information is at a level that challenges all the students, but also is realistic. I think one of the best things about one of the dispositions that is positive about me to be and being a special education teacher is I'm very empathetic. I'm very aware that all of us come from different backgrounds, different education levels in our families, different socioeconomic levels in our families, different languages, different cultures, different religions, everything. And all of those things make up who we are as an individual. And when you have a lot of kids in your classroom and each has their own idea of what's right and wrong, how to do something as opposed to how somebody else does something, it's not sympathy, it's empathy. It's understanding that, okay, this child doesn't do things the way I grew up doing it, but that's okay. That's actually even better because I can help teach this child because of and based on what they bring to the table. I taught in a functional skills classroom. I'm sorry, I didn't teach. I was a paraprofessional in a functional skills classroom for a while. And even in those situations, well, I should say, especially in those situations, we as SPED teachers have to be empathetic because lots of these kids are nonverbal. They have seizures where they have to wear helmets. They're runners. We have to feed them and change them. Now, that's not going to be my profession. That's not going to be what I do as a teacher. But it's a good example of how to treat everyone with love and kindness and be an example, just like the teaching strategy of I do, we do, you do. Same thing. So I talked a bit about empathy. What is a disposition I'll need to work on before I enter a classroom as a first year teacher? Well, this will be my second and a half year as a teacher, but I think that really it's gaining a better insight into students' cultural backgrounds because, I'm a white woman, single mom, 4 kids from Chicago, living in Tennessee. And there are a lot of children that are transplants with their families from other states, like me. And there are a lot of children from here, from rural areas, from cities, all different colors, all different languages. The best way I believe that I can learn more about my students going forward is find out about what makes them tick. You know, talk to the parents. That's huge. That's a major one because it's going to be through those parents that I can see and get the idea and gather information about how their child learns best, what their child enjoys doing, what their child does not enjoy doing. I don't want to have a teaching class or have a one-on-one session with the student and I'm using the one manipulative, or I'm using the one strategy that absolutely never works for this student. So I think starting off, maybe send a survey home with the parent to the parent and have them fill it out. Um, and I think a lot as well as a new teacher, you know, looking to my other peers, the other teachers in my school, and asking questions. I am a firm believer that the only way we can learn is if we ask the question. The last question here is what personal biases uh, do I have that could affect my teaching, and how could it affect my relationship with students and their families? It's a good question. Um, you know, I think all of us are prejudiced. And I think prejudice is different from any other word. I use that word more as we have ideas in our head about what something is when we have no hands on real experience with it. So, my background is Irish. So, somebody that has no experience with people from Ireland, like my grandfather, my grandparents, they could perceive me automatically as a fighter and a drinker and a farmer, and I like to eat potatoes. And I celebrate St. Patrick's Day, which is true. And I do eat potatoes. Um, but these types of things are not what is necessary to move forward with students. So I would make a conscious effort to put anything like that I have in my mind away. I think a benefit for me as to being able to do that is the fact that I've lived overseas, and I have traveled, and it has enabled me to really get a good look, a good glimpse of how other people and other cultures live, and to realize that much of the world is different than me. And that is a beautiful thing and needs to be embraced. I want that kind of stuff, those cultural differences embraced in the classroom and shown in the classroom. The thing that hurts me the most is when kids don't feel loved or when they get bullied. And that is absolutely, positively not going to happen in my classroom. I love children. I want them to feel safe and happy and excited about learning, and that no matter where they are intellectually, they can achieve greatness. I hope that made sense. Thank you.